Welcome, Aquarius. This is Regina from Pacific Tarot, getting ready to do a reading for you. I've pulled a couple of cards from two different oracle decks. I've laid out a few cards from the Raven Tarot. So we're going to get started there. And I first pulled from the Soul's Journey card, Surrender. I can release my need for control. And this is coming as the result of the recognition within you of some amazing power that you need to cultivate and release in a measured, sustainable way. So you're surrendering the need for control of perhaps external forces, the behaviors or activities of others that you work with or that work for you, so that you can more accurately control the powerful sovereignty, responsibility, ownership you have for some idea, some movement, some project that you're engaging. The baboon suggests some kind of powerful intellect, clarity about a particular vision that you have. And I see that the Egyptian god Thoth is suggested here in a way that speaks to the language that you use. Perhaps this is about the story you tell about yourself or your power. So I'm going to read from the guidebook. The key words of baboon are magic and desire. In addition to being associated with Thoth, the god of wisdom, the baboon represents the archetype of the dominant male endowed with a considerable libido and therefore a symbol of fertility and creation through willpower and desire. It is a supreme achiever. The strength of the baboon guides you towards your goal, plan, design. Use your mind to create and your intelligence to find the solution. Use words to persuade others to cooperate and reasons and arguments to support your idea. Things do not resolve themselves. Take control of your life and move toward what you really want to achieve. I love this. Yeah, the idea of words are important here. And for some of you that are writing or creating a presentation, implementing some kind of technical language in the product or service that you are creating, you have a clear ability to persuade. A very logical but forceful argument is yours to present. In the present, the Knight of Wands, this is about your energy level. And I do believe that this is about creating the momentum and the lapsed release of powerful energy and desire so that it can be sustained throughout the life of this project. You're going far, you're reaching high, and in order to hit your mark, you have to employ the skills that you've developed over years. And this includes the ability to understand your audience, your clients, your students, whoever your audience is, in order to address their needs and concerns, their interests, providing them with clear steps and goals to move them forward, to help to train them in the presentation of the product or the thing, the project you're creating. But this is about the desire and ability to explore and discover. And it feels as though you're taking a team along with you, an organization, a group of collaborators, groups of people, perhaps quite large, where you are a part of the motivational force of this collective or communal effort. In the past, the Ten of Cups, this quite simply is telling me that your ability to surrender and release control over others is because of a shared community that you participate in. This can be your circle, your inner circle of loved ones that can extend out through your neighborhood, through your community, at your place of work. Wherever it is, you are clearly balanced in identifying ways to receive and give support, to protect and create safe space for others to ask questions, to learn. As your model is very powerful, others can be intimidated, but because of the power of your language, your words, the openness of your ideas, they are encouraged, and you create a space where they can ask questions, where they can practice modeling the finding their own strength, finding what they do well, so that they come to the table on equal footing with other members, that the variety of expertise is what amplifies the abundance, the protection, and the sense of really ultimate well-being of a community, of a team. This is holistic health that is being expressed through this ability to not micromanage others or be micromanaged by others. In the future, the Death card is describing, I believe, a series of opportunities that you are becoming very well practiced at, in which you surrender the old expectations of others, even the judgments of yourself, in your ability to meet those expectations in the past. Perhaps your forgiveness of self, forgiveness of others is all part of that surrender that you're experiencing in order to be prepared to allow yourself to be reborn, to start fresh, to implement a serious change that requires the support of others, to sustain that change in the world, to be careful about not just the behaviors of old broken habits or old unproductive habits, but the residue of rawness sometimes that leaves behind, right? Failures, disappointments leave behind a trace of sadness that is hard to get out from under. It can be emotionally exhausting, and yet you have a community, you've built into a community that recognizes that you need support, as do other members in the community. So going and asking for help is part of the powerful model that you display for others to understand that this is an ongoing process. We're learning how to implement better habits that allow us to respond in a healthy way to the opportunities before us. So the many deaths that we experience in this life are necessary to build that muscle of strength and gift that we have to offer. If this reading is resonating with you so far, Aquarius, please like, share, and subscribe to my channel. I thank you all for all the support that I receive from you. I'm truly grateful. And I'm going to clarify the Ten of Cups in the past with the Four of Swords and the Five of Pentacles. Yeah, this is a lot of personal change that is occurring for so many of us in this new world we are embroiled in, embedded within. This is about your efforts at redefining yourself, at defining your path forward, free from expectations, but it wasn't just something you chose one day. You had to go through a lot of difficult challenges, obstacles, perhaps betrayals, pain, sorrow, to really understand and recognize the patterns that you kept selecting over and over again. You were choosing a way of being that gave more than it received. And understanding that and recognizing how much you've grown, how much you've gained in wisdom about yourself, about your capacity and your goals. You are grateful for these opportunities. You're grateful for the difficulty and the suffering that you've experienced because it has chastened you, it has purified you so that you move in a new direction. You define yourself in a way that recognizes that there are others there that can support you, but you have to ask for the help. You've built this structure in your life so that there are others like you who ask you for help and that you can ask for help. And it's really the opportunity to observe our triggers, our behaviors that we're attempting to say, to implement, that we are moving away from, that we're healing, so that we can rebuild self-talk that is helpful, that is encouraging, that is uplifting, that does not tear us down. And you are forgiving yourself for the ways in which this was an automatic kind of response to difficulty, or the self-talk may have been a reflection of what you heard from others in your life, other caregivers, other teachers, other individuals you worked with that made kind of spectacle of your marginality, right? Why are you so different? Why are you so smart? Why are you so unlike the rest of us? And so you're now learning that, in fact, you are a part of a community. You do belong. And you're learning how to utilize that. In the present, the Knight of Wands is clarified by the Nine of Cups and the Queen of Swords. So here you are in your air element, very much looking again at your habits, at your emotional triggers, and the way in which you recognize the support that you need. So you're turning old behavioral patterns that you understand have blocked you, old choices you have made. You're able to objectify those in terms of the truth, the awareness that you've gained about the path for you, where you belong, where you fit. And you do that again in a container, in a community, on a team where you are open to ideas. You know how to ask the right questions that will challenge the assumptions of others, as you are learning and have learned to do on your own behalf. So this is part again of how you're moving this community of support into all aspects of your life. You're recognizing that this kind of social container protects you and protects others while you are learning to improve upon your skills and your performance in the world, keeping the truth of your goals in front of you, clearly in front of you. In the future, the Death card is clarified by the Five of Cups and the Page of Pentacles. So interesting that you are absolutely changing your emotional response, your emotional choices, the way you recognize what for you, many of you, is perhaps shameful behavior, shameful in a number of ways that may include a discomfort with choices you've made in the past, relationships you've engaged in. Why did I hook up with that person? Or the surprise and hurt that you experienced throughout multiple disappointments or even failures in your emotional space, in your relationships, while you are aware that you have been rebuilding the relationship to yourself. And that includes the way you talk to yourself, the way you forgive yourself for things you've done in the past that only display your humanness. We are here to make mistakes. We're here to learn and grow. And you are more than willing to move forward in this rebirth, teaching yourself what it is that once was uncomfortable to you, moving into the arena of relationships, the need for love, the need for approval and support is something you're learning to acknowledge within yourself. You are moving away from the safety of isolation, the loneliness of isolation, because you have work to do and you can't do it alone. You're also understanding that your love, what you give, is your form of love, your love language. And this is something you also are aware you need to learn about, you want to learn about, you want to expand your emotional environment, your relationships into a realm of greater honesty and connection. I'm going to finish up this reading with a crystal oracle, hoping this has been helpful for you, Aquarius. And I pulled the Heliodor, and the key word is confidence. I'm confident in all that I do. I take that back to the baboon, the sacred baboon, thought, the ability to use reason, logic, and intellect that is fronting this powerful, confident idea and vision that you have, and that you know how to implement very skillfully. Again, like, subscribe, share, drop me a comment, and until next time, Aquarius, namaste.